Shalom, like to say all praises due to Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakal Kodash. Peace and blessings to the hopeful members of the elect. My name is Connor Walk from Great Millstone, Toronto. Doing a quick lesson. This is going to be entitled, says the kingdom will be translated to the elect of Israel. That's why I'm going to entitle this one. And this is based off this book, of Job, the prophet Job, which was written even before the Abrahamic time. This was pre Abraham, basically. And this was Job 20:1. Then answered Zophar the Naamite and said, so these are Job's his brothers, her friends, who's consoling with him, because Job was going through a lot of hell and turmoil in the flesh, and with his he lost everything. He lost his daughters, his sons, he lost his cattle, his possession, and that's why we want to be like Job, because even though he lost everything, he still kept his integrity within him. So we want to like the elect, the nation of Israel is like Job. He that have an ear, let him hear. Right? It says then answered Zophar the Naamite and said, therefore doth my thoughts cause me to answer, for this I make hate. I have heard the check of my reproach, and the spirit of understanding caused me to answer. Knowing thou not this of old, since man was placed upon earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite for a moment, right? So even right now with the Queen, Queen Elizabeth II, she died. Now her son King Charles III, he's gonna be he's the chief. He's the head he's the head of the monarch, the Commonwealth, and they have lost a lot of since Queen Elizabeth been in reign. She reigned for 70 years, but she lost a lot of certain territories within her kingdom. All right. Commonwealth. Put Queen Elizabeth. Commonwealth. Countries considered breaking from British crown now that the Queen is dead, right? So their whole kingdom is falling, right? Because America, is under the the crown of the British. America basically was established, by the America was pretty much established by by the British. Let's put this Commonwealth realm. Say a Commonwealth realm. A Commonwealth realm is a sovereign state in the Commonwealth of nations, whose monarch and head of state is shared among the other realms. Each realm function as an independent state, equal with other realms and nations of Commonwealth. King Charles III, now he's He's gonna be in charge because his mom has died. Success his mother Elizabeth II as monarch of each Commonwealth realm on September 8th, 2022. He also became head of the Commonwealth, right? So this is Canada, the United Kingdom, you know, and then like you see the red. I guess these are you know, like these are realms who's detaching themselves, you know, from Queen Elizabeth the, you know. So and her accession in 1952, Elizabeth was the monarch and head of state of 7 independent states: United Kingdom, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, Pakistan, and Ceylon or Sri Lanka. Since then, new realms have been created through the independence of former colonies and independence. I think Barbados, they left, you know, Antigua. Could do your research, you know. Now Jamaica wants to, you know, like like Jamaica is considering to leave, but you see Andrew Holness now. He went up to you know, the Queen's her burial or whatever, and he's doing some kind of deal or whatever. So you know, so I don't think Jamaica's gonna be so-called independent, and we're not. We're not. Even if you're independent, like you're still under the what do you call it? The International Monetary Fund, which is run by the elite. So you're not really free or whatever, man. That we're not free or whatever, because we still have to pay tax. We still have to, you know, we're not sovereign. We're under their domain, under their rule. You know, knowing thou not this of old, since man was placed upon earth, that the triumph and the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite for a moment, right? And the way how this kingdom is established was off a deception, right? With lies, you know, treachery, you know, and deception, right? Because since Esau came back to power in Revelation 20, you know, I'm gonna get that after. I'm gonna get that Revelation 20. Revelation 20. Revelation 20:1. And I saw an angel come down from heaven, which is Yahushua, all right, because he has the keys, right, and he's the one who establishes, you know, that kingdoms. I think it's Psalm 74. I could get that quick. I think it's Psalm 74. No, Psalm 75. Psalm 75, verse 5. For God is the judge, alright? He putteth down one and setteth up another, right? So Yahweh and Yahushua, you know, like he's the one who's in charge of setting up kingdoms, alright? And every great kingdom, like whether it was through the Egyptians, you know, the Babylonians, by the Babylonians, the Medes and the Persians, okay? You know, every great kingdom, was established, by the Heavenly Father, right? And everyone has their time to rule. Everyone had their time to rule. You know what I mean? And that's why in Second Esdras, the 6th chapter and verse, we go into 9. It says, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob beginning of it that followeth. So it shows you that we're seeing, like the end of Esau's rule. All right, because because Esau wants to be everybody except for like himself, because he's a fugitive and a vagabond, right? Just like in Genesis, right? So Esau's a great deceiver, man. Psalm 75:7, for Yahweh is the judge, he put down one and set up another. For in the hand of the Lord there is a cup, and the wine is red. It is full of mixture. Alright, and this is when the Lord comes, and he's gonna. That's why Isaiah 63. The Lord's gonna plead, and he's gonna destroy the whole house of Esau. You know what I mean? Or like when the Lord comes and whatever, and who's gonna be destroyed, through America and whatever, like certain parts of them. Like America gonna be like totally like destroyed, but these other Edomites and stuff is gonna go right into slavery, right? Revelation 13:9 and 10. So lucky I'm just kind of all over the place, but if you know what I mean. But for in the hand of the Lord there is a cup, and the wine is red. It is full of mixture. He pour out the same, but the dregs thereof, all the wicked of the earth shall wring them out and drink them. So yeah, so see how we're like we were put into cargo slavery, like slavery, the transatlantic slave trade and stuff, through the Atlantic, from like we're sold on auction blocks. We're doing like a lot of crazy stuff, the plantations and stuff, through America, South America, the Caribbean, San Tome, that was like a stronghold of like we were, like we're put down, but now like this is gonna be the time when the Lord's gonna have mercy, man, and so like we're gonna be lifted up, from this curse, because we're under the curse, man, because we have transgressed against the Heavenly Father, right? That when you read Deuteronomy 28, verse 16 to 18, verse 16 to verse 68 would talk about the things that will befall us if we disobey his commandments, right? And we're so now as a result, we're forced to eat or to drink the dregs, of slavery, man, and punishment, right? And right now, the elect or whatever is gonna be reserved and be redeemed, all right? Because the Lord's only coming to redeem the elect of Israel, and the 1/3, like the like the 2/3 of our people is gonna be totally destroyed, man. So okay, and all the wicked of the earth shall wring them out and drink them. But I will declare forever, I will sing praises to the power of Jacob, and all the horns of the wicked also will I cut off, and the horns of the righteous shall be exalted, right? So that's it. For Esau, the end of the world, Jacob beginning with the father, man. So, you know, yeah, but that this Revelation 20:1, and I answered, and I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit, and a great chain in his hand, and he laid hold on the dragon, right, which would be, it would be like the Roman Empire, right, the pagan Roman Empire, right, who was who was great, like when they were in power, right? They had us in slavery, right? 60 to 73 AD, basically over like 13 years. They sacked like Jerusalem, Palestine, and like we had to, like a lot of us had to flee. Like a lot of us went to like certain parts of North Africa, West Africa, right? When you go into Revelation 12, I'm not gonna get into that today. And he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, right? So even that too, right, with the old serpent, which would be in the Genesis, right? But when he basically Genesis 49 as well, where it talks about Cain, whatever, and First Maccabees 1, it says for what do you call it? So that wicked shall be multiplied on earth, right? And so it shows you that these are the same Edomites who's coming back to power, all right? Which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years, right? So we were in power for over 1,000 years, basically. Apostle, he goes very in depth with what do you call it? I think the good Caesars or whatever, but basically from 193 AD, Septimius Severus, which means color of 7, he basically he established a certain kingdom or whatever, and which stretched from I think from Britain and certain, like a great empire, right? When you read about Septimius Severus, and basically with the church too, with what's his name? What's the guy's name? What's the guy's name? Constantine the Great, right? Constantine the Great. Yeah, hold on. Yeah, Constantine the Great, from 337, and even though Constantine was wicked, all right, because they basically used, like they used the word, like they used the book or whatever, but they basically were doing a lot of idolatry, right, with basically the Queen of Heaven worship, with what do you call it, Black Madonna and all that shit, Mary worship, that woman worship, and a lot of stuff, ultimately, like that's why we fell as a result too. All right, because we're doing a lot of wickedness, we're infighting amongst us as a nation, so like that's why the kingdom fell as a result. All right, and it was already preordained, but yeah. Bound him 1,000 years and cast him into the bottomless pit. All right, so basically Esau was down for over 1,000 years, from like 193 AD to basically like the 14th century, right, when a lot of our people died of the Black Plague and different like pestilence, you know, and basically, yeah, a lot of people died of Black Plagues and stuff. And then ultimately, you know, 1400s, or it's like the 15th century, like 1492, pretty much, when a lot of our people were expelled. So basically, from almost 100 years, you know, through Spain and Portugal, there was a lot of warfare, and basically they you know, like they got rid of our people, you know, like they indoctrinated our people with the Catholicism, you know, to eat swine's flesh and all that stuff. And you know, some of our people weren't having it, you know, so like, you know, like that's why a lot of our people died. You know, some of our people fled into different lands, you know, Australia, I mean, it's like not Australia, Amsterdam, you know, Holland, you know, Africa, Angola, you know, San Tome, certain parts, right? And you know, pretty much, you know, like we're scattered, you know, and like thus we have a diaspora, you know, like till this day. Slakia, if I'm kind of ranting, Slakia about that, and cast him into the bottomless pit, and shut him up, and set a seal upon him, that he should deceive the nation no more, till the 1,000 years be fulfilled. And after that, he must be loose a little season. So like this is a little season, you know, that the wicked's in, right? So basically from you know, when Esau came back to power with Pope Alexander VI of Rome, or the Borgia family, you know, and what do you call it? Michelangelo, I forgot the guy's name. The writer, he's the painter who basically painted an image of like Cesare Borgia, you know, and like thus we have you know, like the iconoclasm, right? Where basically they have these images, you know, like with the Renaissance art, right? With the Renaissance art, where basically they're whitewashing our images, all right? Because prior to the Renaissance art, you know, like the images were of Israelite, dark skin, all right, and you know, so they have a lot of things to pay for. Let me just put this here. It's like, yeah. Shit. I was gonna.
Very, very kind. Jamaicans have a deep love and respect for it's my honor and privilege to be here. Sir, as a Jamaican, I am telling you the truth. Nobody never tell Andrew Holness that he's a liar. He is a liar. And you have to watch him, because every liar is a thief. He will thief something up there. Nobody never tell him that. Because me can guarantee you, him and Juliet sleep in bed, and Juliet never tell him that. The lie ma tell pan Jamaican people. Jamaican people, we're not hypocrite. We not put him out of brand talk. A lie ma tell pan, we lie. We never tell him that, sir. We never hold in a discussion. He's a liar, and he's a thief. So my granny said every liar is a thief. We never tell him that. So don't call when him and Joseph. Beat him if you beat him over there. When if you flag him, if you come over there and tell him the lie, you're too wicked and joyless, man.
Yeah, man. I was trying to find out. There's another video. I was trying to save it, but it wasn't allowing me to save. But basically, there was what's his name? Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. He was in Britain or the UK, and you know, he was basically like there's like a whole bunch of people who are glad to see him. Some of them were pissed off, right? So there's like a an Englishman, and he was angry, man. You know, and there's and this is a guy. He lives in the UK, you know, but he's just bashing. What's his name? Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, man. So, you know, and then now, you know, as we look, I just found this one right here. This is just a random image. I mean, there's a random video. Basically, he's talking about Andrew Holness, the Prime Minister Andrew Holness, right, and King Charles III, right, because you know, the Prime Minister Andrew Holness, now he's in Jamaica, you know, trying to do some sort of deal, trying to keep the Commonwealth, you know, because there are, like, even if you try to leave or whatever, like, they're still gonna try to sabotage you, and you know, us as a nation, because we're under the IMF, international. So it doesn't matter, man. It doesn't matter if you try to escape and try to have your own republic and all that shit, man. And yeah, with that, like, say all praise due to Yahweh Bashem and Shai, the Lawrence, the Apostle of Great Millstone. Peace and bless the hopeful members of the elect, and shalom.